Okay, welcome to another edition of International Soccer Break. I'm your host, Sahil. I'm here with Rahi and Bick for an instant reaction to the game that just happened last night for you fans out there in India. Overall, boys, happy, sad, disappointed? What's our emotion?
I gotta say, I'm happy, Vic. I'm incredibly happy. We talked before this tournament about fight. Are they ready to fight? Is this team ready to show the resiliency, the grit? You know, when you're playing against a superior opponent, 70 places or what above you in the rankings, they fought, man. Grit, resilience, fight, and they didn't give up too many chances. I'm happy, Vic. Are you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy. I'm not thrilled, only because that goal wasn't from a brilliant piece of play by Australia. It was a mistake. But look, this is a team that consistently plays in the World Cup. Australia, they beat Denmark and Tunisia last time. They almost always get to the knockout stages. I think it was an incredible performance. And the good thing for me was even after the first goal and even after that mistake, it's very easy to let your heads drop, and India didn't do that. The things we spoke about before, defensive organization, fight, I think they showed a lot of that. And I said before coming into this tournament, I'm not expecting anything. The fact is, after this performance, I am expecting something. So I think that in itself is a bit of a win.
100%. And we're maybe a Chhetri chance in the first half away from going in halftime with the lead.
I think he should have scored that. We'll get to the front line a little bit later, but defense, what a night and day situation from the Qatar game to this game. So what do you think? Where did this come from? This was fantastic.
Incredible. Can we talk about Sandesh Chigan? With the head wrap too, after taking the head injury, he gave me shades of Virgil van Dijk, that kind of attitude, the persona at this. I was sliding tackle, block after block, just the leader for this occasion, man. I was thrilled with the defense on in every way.
Yeah, it was. He was incredible, and I think defensively, I was really worried about the organization. I thought Australia would slice through India, but they weren't able to. The shapes, the organization throughout was amazing, and clearly they put a lot of work into it in the last month or so, because this was like night and day compared to the performances in the qualifying.
That's a big thing against Qatar. This is a huge difference, right? And it's almost makes that result surprising. Now, looking at if they could play like this, why did that happen in that game? Because they were cutting off passing angles just where they were positioned was, to be honest, let's be candid. Australia didn't create that many clear-cut chances. They were dominant with possession, right? They had the ball a lot. They were in and around the box, a lot of shots from the edge of the area that were blocked, but no clear-cut chances, right? Which is why it's so disappointing. The first goal comes from a elementary mistake.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So disappointing because, if that doesn't go in, the pressure builds. And then it's a different game. The longer it goes, 60 minutes, 70 minute, 75.
Yeah. The second goal, you have to say, that's what I thought would happen most of the game, that we'd get beaten down the wings, right? And we didn't. To be candid, the positioning was good and the wide defenders did their job. Even a player like Manveer Singh really, effectively a forward attacking player. How many times was he in, at the back, into tackles? I think he played like as a winger, but the whole team was committed in a way that showed the preparation, showed Bick, to your point, that they've been working on this over and over again. And I think it's a credit to the coach, right? Steve Match has got something right with bringing this group together, and they look a different side.
Yeah. So let's talk next game. One thing I do want to bring up is, do you think we can put the Australia game to bed? We see the score there, 2-0, but with the Chhetri chance, it could have been a little bit different. He had a pretty clear-cut chance. But I want to talk about Sunil Chhetri, because do you think he's offering enough? Because the one thing about this game, I don't know, and again, it could just be Australia was a dominant opponent, but giving a little bit of relief in games like this helps. And I don't know if Sunil Chhetri, this is a little bit of a controversial take, is necessarily the answer still. And I wanted to get your guys' take on that. Aside from his, the external factors he brings, does he offer enough on the field?
Yeah, I think he does. Because I think that first chance is exactly why he needs to be on the field. his anticipation in that moment nearly creates that. I mean, yes, he probably should have put it away, right? But I don't think any of our other attacking players are making that run at that time to pop in between. There's basically, if you rewatch it, there's 3 Australia defenders around him. And he anticipates the ball and kind of pops in there. He's just going to put one of these away. And the other thing I think to your point is that the other players look up to him. Having him on the field, he's there in those moments where things are going to get tough. I disagree with you. I think he's still very valuable on the field.
Yeah, I would agree with Rahi there. I think he also brings that experience. And look, it's not like there is someone, waiting in the wings who is just going to dazzle you and, provide that point of difference to Chhetri. So I think just for that reason, you keep him on. And again, if he puts that away, and strikers don't put away every single chance, right? Even the best of them will miss out. If he puts that away, we're having a completely different conversation. We're just talking about how good he is and how important he is to India. So I think keep him for the tournament. And we know he's old. He's probably not going to play for more than 2 years, if that. So let's just keep him in. I don't think they should make too many changes at this point.
Okay. So for the next game, what do you guys want to see against Uzbekistan?
I think we're going to have a little more room to play in the midfield. I'm hopeful. I think it'll be a different game. So I'd like to see what we can do. At times, as we have been, very wasteful in possession. Even we did have the opportunity sometimes to break. The ball wasn't correct. The outlet ball, the wing was a little inside, not where it needed to be. So I'd like to see that be cleaned up, because it's okay to defend like you did, but you have to, when you have those moments to break, it has to be much cleaner, much crisper. Uzbekistan's going to give us a little bit more room, I think, in terms of we can advance the block a bit. We need more from our midfield players.
Definitely we need more from our midfield players. I think India just has to have a slightly different mentality as well. I think the approach in this game was correct. A bit of park the bus and, let's take it as deep as possible and maybe we can nick one in the end or even go for a 0-0. I don't think that the same approach will work with Uzbekistan. I think they should, they don't need to go all out, but they need to create some chances and they need to put some pressure back on Uzbekistan, because at the end of the day, even if you defend really well, if the opposition continuously has the ball and continuously takes chances, one of them will go in, so I think you have to put some pressure back. So I would like to see some more attacking intent from India.
Yeah, because when they did press, there were a couple moments where they pressed well and created some danger, right? That moment in the second half, there's already a free goal out of, I think it was a Puya. I'm not sure who was pressing there, but able to win the ball back. So the moments we were able to put some pressure, it did bear fruit. So you'd love to see that, not all the time, but picking your moments in the next game.
Go ahead.
Well, sorry, I was just going to say also, we all said before the tournament, this is about competing and this is about, getting some experience at this level. It's really about World Cup qualifying, but also this is about the moments to celebrate, right? And at the end of the tournament, whatever happens, I want to see some goals, some moments of celebration and excitement. So just creating some of that would be amazing.
Yeah, the fans in that stadium were ready to celebrate. I mean, it felt like, there was so many Indian fans in that stadium. It looked like a super fun atmosphere, man. I wish I was
and that's
there.
going to be the case for the rest of the tournament as well. It will be, all the India games will be India heavy in terms of the fan base. So
but I'm with you, Bick. I'm no longer looking for, okay, let's punt it now to the World Cup qualifiers. Let's try to get out of this group. You know what I mean? You nick a result, a draw or something against Uzbekistan, try to go for a win in the last game. You could be out of this group. You never know based on results, So
I mean, this is the best team in the group that we just played, relatively well for the first half and held them, they didn't do much.
Yeah. So
it's only going to get easier, to your point, Bick, that you talked about earlier in the tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I think it was a good result overall, despite the loss. Any last thoughts, guys, before we head off?
I think my expectations have changed. I'm so excited after watching them on the field now. Maybe I should have come with more optimism. I'm really optimistic. Let's go.
Yeah, same here. I would love to see a win. I'll take a goal at this point, but I would love to see a win. I think they can actually do it. So
I want to see qualification for the next round. I'm getting hungry now. But
wow.
I think after this performance, we can all be very proud of the team and we can say it with pride. Keep watching the beautiful game and Chak De India.
Chak De India.